Good afternoon, guys. Welcome to Tia Making Adventures. My name is Lisa Keegan and we are making English muffins as part of our Cafe to Kitchen series. So come watch on today. I'll show you how easy it is, but I'm also going to talk about substitutions. Now, those of you who are gluten-free, this is not going to be gluten-free. I'm sorry. We are operating on our pantry at the moment because we can't get fresh supplies due to floodwaters. So we're not flooded, it's okay. We just can't get the fresh stuff. So we're very much cooking through the pantry at the moment and the kids are loving it a little too much. So let me show you today how easy this is. I've made it once before, it was fantastic, so I'm excited to do it again. But as I said, I don't have all the ingredients. And the beauty of the Thermomix is that even when you don't have all the ingredients, you can still make it as long as you have a few tricks up your sleeve. Please say hi if you're watching on today, by the way. So let's go straight to start cooking. So the first thing it's asking for is millet. Now millet is that powdery stuff on the outside of your muffins. Okay, that is that. I obviously don't have that because I didn't plan on having no access to shops. So we're just going to roll without that. Hey Anne, lovely to have you on today. So normally lid on and you would mill that down. I reckon you could use rice if you wanted to. I reckon rice would work just as nicely. I'm just going to skip it, cross my fingers and hope for the best. I'm actually doing these in a pie maker today just to try something a bit different as well. Last time I did do them in egg rings on a fry pan. So I'm just thought, why not give it a go? So normally you would mill those down for 20 seconds, transfer aside and keep that there for the dusting. So next up, it's asking for some whole milk. So the first thing I've got here is some almond milk. I know it's not whole milk, it'll work just the same. What I will find probably is that it won't golden up as much. So when you don't have the dairy milk, it won't get quite as golden. It can be a bit pasty coloured. It'll still taste amazing. It just looks a little different. Hey Trace, how are you? So in goes 120 grams of milk. Watch those scales go up. There we go, 119. That's pretty close. So next, some butter. So 25 grams of butter. Here we go. We do have butter and we do have cream. It's something that we've always had kind of on rotation on our online shop. So we do a Woolworths usually, Woolworths online shop, and it comes direct to us usually when people can get out here. But it's something where we always have butter on there. We always have cream. And we always have it in the freezer because it's one of those things we don't tend to use all the time, but we're grateful for when we do have it. So it's always there. I know a lot of you guys have already been on my website and downloaded my pantry essentials, which is what you get when you subscribe over there. If you haven't, go do that because you'll see there my essentials list so that we do have a packed pantry. We've never ever needed it before. Like I did it last year for COVID when we were in lockdown back in the city, but we've never actually needed it till now. And I'm so grateful that I had a packed pantry for when the shelves are there. Okay, so yeah, we're running very, very low on the fresh goods now. We're into the, the mushy apples no one wanted to eat that got turned into pikelets from morning tea, those sorts of things. But that's okay because I've got the flour, I've got the butter, I've got oils as backup if I need to, those sorts of things. So the pantry cooking if required. All right, 25 grams. Has anyone else got a really good stocked pantry? Does anyone else feel like, yep, I've got this? If I can't, get fresh stuff from the shops, I've got a little bit of time up my sleeve. Does anyone else feel that way about their pantry? I don't think I've ever thought about it too much until now. So, all right, 25 grams of butter, 15 grams of caster sugar. I'm going to use raw sugar and I'm just going to cut that right down. I'll probably just put in 7 grams, about a teaspoon, 5. So I'm going for half just because I don't like. Kids are actually going to have this for dinner. They'll be loving life at the moment. Normally, if you guys have been watching on for a long time, you guys know typically we are gluten-free, dairy-free, and I try and nutrient-dense pack our food. We normally spend most of our shopping money on fresh vegetables, fruit. We don't buy packet biscuits and cakes and stuff. We never have. We've always, even before had a Thermomix, made those things from scratch. Rice cakes was kind of our only kind of pre-made thing we would often not make rice cakes. So it's this is quite an unusual turn for us to cook like this. But anyway, it's only for a limited time. We have a house. It is not flooded. I can't complain. I'm very grateful. So Next up, on with the lid, and it's going to now heat that up 90 degrees for 2.5 minutes, and it's melting the butter. I was going to say dissolve the sugar. It will probably dissolve the sugar a little bit because 2.5 minutes isn't very long. Hello, Vicky. Lovely to have you on today. Hey, Ruth. I'm glad you've got a big shop up your sleeves as well, so that you've got what you need. Now, this is obviously in our Thermomix world, our time to go get our supplies ready for the next steps. So normally you'd be going and getting your things out, obviously on a live video. I usually try and have that sorted for you guys. So the next few things are going to be, we're going to put this aside in a second, which is if you've got 2 bowls, you can use 2 bowls. So I'm going to actually transfer mine aside today because my bowls are all dirty. The kids have literally been cooking up things as well. You need some water, you need your yeast. I'm so glad I've got yeast, although looking at that amount, no, I think we'll be all right. I was going to say I might have to start myself, maybe I will. I might start myself a sourdough starter so I can start that process rolling, because the sourdough, that'll take about 5 days to go to actually cultivate enough yeast in it, and then I won't need this because I'll be able to use my starter from that. So I just thought of that then, I might do that. So you'll need those ingredients, and then you'll need some flour and salt. So won't be long to it onto that. Now Friday is going to be a special day, okay? For a few reasons, and I'm going to hold out on telling you why. Some of you may know, and I know some of you guys are probably going to put it in the chat, maybe, maybe not. But watch this space, because in 4 days' time, I've got something exciting to share with you guys. So do keep an eye out. I'm going to hold you in suspense a little bit. But yeah, there's a couple of reasons that on Friday I can't wait to share with you. So watch this space. So here comes our yeast and our water. I'm going to grab a thermo server up the back here. Oh, I forgot to put my ingredients away. Today I did a virtual demo. Couldn't do it face to face, can't go anywhere. And we made beautiful paprika chicken with the creamy cashew sauce. If you want to do a virtual demo, it's half an hour, 40 minutes online. You and I, friends can come to your house and cook with you if you've got a Thermomix. If you don't yet have a Thermomix, it can just be you and I can show you, I can answer your questions, cook for you, and show you how a Thermomix can change your kitchen and totally transform what you currently do, what you want to do, all that sort of stuff. Can't imagine how it would look different the last week and what's to come one on the bench, that's for sure. Those hashtags of being able to do you know, because we don't want to use up all the eggs, just priceless. So transfer this aside. We need this to cool slightly as well. So part of the reason, so it is in there. Let me see if I can grab the little camera and just show you. It's all dissolved and come together into a big, like that, look at it. So that's perfect, that's what we want. But what it also needs to do is cool a little bit, because if we add that with yeast in a minute, it's gonna kill the yeast. So we do want to put that aside. And you'll see by the time we go and combine it later, it actually goes on top of the flour so that it isn't going to be hot. Okay, it's not going to be boiling hot anymore. Okay, next up, 120 grams of water. No need to wash out your bowl. How good is that? In that water goes. Now it's going to heat this up in a minute to our typical 37 degrees, sorry. And get that yeast activated. But we won't actually take very long. Can you see the red lights on the front of my Thermomix? Actually, they've just gone green. There we go. I just spoke too soon or too late. These here indicate that the bowl is still super hot. The bowl's actually over 60 degrees. Really helpful if you've got people who like to come put their finger in the food and taste it. You know, pass and put the finger in the custard or the sauce, because if it's red, they're going to burn their tongue, their finger, all that sort of stuff. So it's helpful to know that when it's over the 60 and it's red, it's too hot for us to touch. It's going to burn us. So the bowl is actually still quite hot, which is great because it's actually going to activate that water a bit quicker on this next step, which was 1 teaspoon of dried yeast. And now we go next, and now we put the lid on, and it's actually got this 37-degree heat up. It will not take 1 minute to get to 37 because actually I think it was already 37 just because of the residue warmth on that bowl. So that's fantastic. So 1 ingredient left to go, and then and we're nearly there. So it says grease a large bowl with butter and set aside, and it's nearly done on this step. Can you guys see that the little number above the big number? The big number is what I'm aiming for, and the little number is what I'm at. so I can see there that I'm already at 37. So push the silver button to abort the mission, so to speak, stop it early, and then we just keep going. So now it's got 190 grams of plain flour. So those of you who've been along for a while, you know I don't buy plain flour. I only used to buy dough for my kids. I use baker's flour for everything. We buy an unbleached baker's flour, but you know what? Work with what you've got. If anything, if this situation of not getting food has taught me anything, you know what? Just keep working with what you've got. And so we're going to put in 190 grams, and then the next step is actually a wholemeal flour. I don't have wholemeal flour, of course I don't. So I'm going to put in another 190 grams of my bakers as well. So that's just the easy swap you can do. Let's go there. See, wholemeal flour. Just work with what you've got. It will work perfectly fine. Now, plain flour, as I made mention at the beginning of this video, it's not, you have to have glutinous. You can't do gluten-free in this recipe. It just won't work, all right? You can't do that swap. It doesn't have the gluten to stretch and fluff up and grab the air bubbles in it, so don't try, all right? I've tried over the years. I've made the mistakes so you don't have to. It will not work. Hey, Denise, lovely to have you on today. Okay, some salt up the back here. And just always make sure, I looked in then because I didn't want to drop the salt or the yeast. Salt and yeast are not friends. They actually negate each other. So it will actually kill your yeast just as much as cooking it will. So I looked in to check I wasn't chucking that salt in a patch of the water that has the yeast dissolved in it. So it's actually sitting there on top of the flour. Here's my melted butter mix. In that goes. And nearly done. Insert the measuring cup. Hey Chris, how are you faring at the moment? I hope you're high and dry, or at least high. 20 seconds, speed 4, off it goes. All right, nearly done. My table's got the wiggles. You can see how solid that's coming together from my table that's doing the dance. My poor table, I think its bolts need tightening up, this little bar table. It's getting the wiggles. Scrape down the sides of the mixing bowl. I actually find a lot of times when doughs do mix first, which they don't always, but see how it's actually quite clean. It's actually done a really good job. So I find that you can just grab a little bit of dough and just use it like blue tack to wipe down the sides instead of grabbing your spatula. It really doesn't have much flour up there anyway. Okay, insert the measuring cup. And now it's got a 3-minute knead. Now, kneading, we never walk away from the Thermomix because it's going to wiggle and jiggle. Now, my table's terribly moving at the moment just because like I can even move it with my elbows, right? Your bench won't move like that, but the top of your bench might be laminate, or it might be stone, or it might be all sorts of different things, and that's what can get movement. By the way, did you see Thermomix have brought out an actual approved accredited slide board? How exciting is that? So they've tested it and it's all good to use under your Thermomix. However, I wouldn't want to use a slide board without standing nice and close to it here, because still I would be very concerned that this actually would bounce itself off the way it's moving. So we're going to turn this on, we're going to let it knead for 3 minutes. Look at the table go, see? Need a bench, time to renovate the kitchen. Now after this 3-minute knead, it's going to prove for 2 hours. What I might do is I will take photos of the next process after this. Now, I'm just going to stop it, it's too noisy to talk over the top of, but what is on offer at the moment, let me just find a mat for you. Now what you want to do is it says to prove in a bowl for 2 hours. I'm not going to prove it in a bowl. That's dirtying something different. 2 things I'll either do. I'll either prove it in that bowl, but then it's really hard to get out around the blades because it's tacky and it's really fluffy, and the more you work at it after you've proved it, the tougher they get. What I am actually preferably going to do is I'm going to put it in a thermomat. Now this is actually for free with the Thermomix until the 9th, okay, midday the 9th. They've extended it for us, which was really generous of them. Actually, a whole lot of things got extended with the unprecedented weather at the moment. We were due to have the trade-in offer end yesterday, and that's been extended as well, just through till the because we just know that that's on the least of everybody's minds at the moment for those that are affected by this weather. So that's been extended, and this has been extended as well. And even 36 months interest free has been extended through to, I think it was 15th. Don't quote me on that though. It was a little while down the track still. So I'm going to put this after the need on here. I'm going to let it prove for the 2 hours in here so that it doesn't make a mess of my bowl or my bench. Just a little tip, make sure you leave extra space when you go to roll it up, because it is going to expand and grow, and otherwise you'll come back in 2 hours and it'll be hanging out the corners all over your bench. So after the 2 hours, you're going to tip out your dough. You're going to roll dough out to 2 centimeters thick. So you're going to press it all out like one big pizza, and then you're going to grab a cup, all right, about 8 centimeters in diameter, and you're going to cut them out like scones. Then what happens is you're going to coat them with your millet. I'm going to coat them with flour, cover with the film, and they need to so cover them again with this once they're done and let it rise again for 30 minutes. And then you would normally fry off with some butter. This is where I'm going to put them in my pie maker, try and make them a little healthier and see how they go. I might do some either way, maybe, and if I don't like them in the pie maker, and I'll let you know what I think. And that'll be it. Then it's done. So I'd love to know in the chat, have you made this recipe? What did you think? Any hints and tips for me as I'm coming towards the end of this recipe? And do let me know if I can support you in any way with your Thermomix. Remember to watch on in the afternoons for inspiration. Hopefully you're getting more confident and learning more about how you can make your Thermomix work for you. So I'm going to wrap up there. It's been a long session this afternoon. Thanks for joining on. And I do hope you will give a go to these beautiful English muffins and then tell me what you think and share the picture as well if you'd like to. But otherwise, guys, take care. And I can't wait to see you back here tomorrow afternoon for some more cafe to kitchen. Kitchen to cafe? No, cafe to kitchen. Take care, and I'll see you then. Bye, guys.